Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in today's video, I have a little bit of a special video I previewed yesterday. We're going to be taking a tour of One Buc Place's public lobby. It is open to the public, as you guys can see right here. We're en route. You see the hashtag GoBucs, you see the Wreck Havoc and Gerald McCoy and all that. A couple of things I want to apologize for is, one, I'm sorry this video took so long. I had plenty of trouble with my iPhone files messing up in Adobe Premiere. Hopefully I got all of that sorted with this recording. And number two, there is going to be a significant amount of glare in some of the displays at this One Buc Place lobby. I do apologize for that. The Buccaneers cleaning staff is some of the best in the nation apparently, and you know, it's unfortunate, but there's not much I can do about that. You know, it's just the fact of the matter is that the Buccaneers cleaning staff is top notch, so there is a significant amount of glare. I apologize for that, but you know, you will have to go through a security gate, but right after that, parking is going to be the first thing on your right hand side. Again guys, this is free. I cannot stress that enough, that this is a free thing to go to. So if you're in the Tampa Bay area or you're visiting the Tampa Bay area, check it out. You could spend literally hours here looking up the history and, you know, potential what ifs with the team. One of the first things that you're going to see whenever you walk in is hanging portraits of the current Buccaneers greats: JPP, Ali Marpet, McCoy, Winston, Mike Evans. I like this because it's just a really nice touch to see some of the current Buccaneers greats. They also have another side with past Buccaneers greats. There you see Levante David, O.J. Howard. And they even have certain video packages of the Buccaneers past and current offense and the Buccaneers past and current defenses. So again, really cool touches, just really cool to just see the current and the past greats from the team. What you're looking at right now is some prototypical helmet and logo designs that the team were going through back whenever they were making the transition from the Bucco Bruce to what you see now with kind of the more modern skull, two swords, and also you're seeing the first instance of glare in these certain types of glass displays and whatnot. I do apologize for that, but this was really cool to see what certain designs were being considered for logo changes and helmet changes and whatnot. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. I do recommend you do pause this video at certain sections just to see, you know, what potential designs were being considered. I liked some of these. Obviously you see the original, you know, pewter and red helmet logo and whatnot right in that middle. Here you're seeing a little bit more conceptual designs for uniforms and logos. Again, really cool stuff. One thing that I thought was interesting, you can see it right there, is they almost tried to modernize the Bucco Bruce, which I thought was really cool. Obviously, they did turn him into the skull and cross swords and the flag and whatnot, but I would have thought that it would have been really cool to kind of see like a modernized human pirate Bucco Bruce. Maybe they consider that in the future, you know, who knows? But it was a really cool concept in my idea. I think you can revisit that later on down the line as a franchise. Above these displays, you do have a full set uniform of Derek Brooks, a full set uniform of Gerald McCoy, and a full set uniform of Leroy Selman. And these support poles, you may notice they look kind of different. They're not made out of concrete almost. That's because they're built to look like pirate masts, you know, like the mast of a ship. I think that's a really cool touch. It's something they didn't have to do, but they did include it anyway, which I thought was just a really unique feature. Warren Sapp, Ron A. Barber, Mike Allstott, Malcolm Glazier, you guys are going to see the rest of them. This is what I was talking about a second ago about the other side of this lobby having hanging portraits of the Buccaneers past greats. Again, really cool touch. Cannot say enough good things about like the subtle things that they do for this lobby that just adds to the just uniqueness of this public lobby that's open again to the public for free. What you're looking at right now is the Pound the Rock motto that was obviously made famous by John Gruden. I do like the fact that they have a literal rock with the Pound the Rock, you know, phrase and whatnot. I'm not sure if that was something that John Gruden kept in the locker rooms or not, but again, really cool touch nonetheless, right in the middle of the legacy section because, you know, John Gruden, one of the more popular legacy people of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he did help them win a Super Bowl. This display you're seeing right here is a little bit more of a time capsule of the tabloids and what, you know, newspapers were talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for certain specific events in Buccaneers history. For example, whenever Leroy Selman was drafted #1 overall in franchise history, some stuff about Monty Kiffin there, some stuff about whenever the Glaziers bought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from Hugh Culverhouse. Just really cool to see, you know, newspaper snippets and what was going on in the news during those timestamps and whatnot. Whenever, you know, certain big events happen in Buccaneers history. That was a photo of whenever the Buccaneers actually first joined the league. Obviously a baby because they were the baby team. They joined as an expansion team with the Seattle Seahawks. That was very cool. That photo you actually see on the right-hand side, that is John McKay holding up the peace sign, coming back to Tampa after the team's first ever franchise victory in franchise history. So that's a really big deal. He was actually greeted by over 8,000 fans. Now, could you imagine, us Bucs fans organizing something like that now? It would be insane. I want us to do that again sometime, because that would just be sick, to kind of relive that kind of excitement in the Tampa Bay area. This whole display is dedicated to the community service that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have done, the cheerleaders, the salute to service, the Glazier Family Foundation. The Buccaneers organization is, really, really involved in the Tampa Bay community, as they should be. They are obviously based in Tampa Bay, so they should be really involved in the community. They definitely help out a lot of students in the Tampa Bay area by helping them go to Bucs games, giving out, school supplies and whatnot, and then obviously the salute to service. Every NFL team should do a whole salute to service business, because it's just good, being a part of the community is always a good thing, regardless if you're an NFL team or you're just a general person. Now, if you guys want to pause and read that paragraph, I do highly recommend that. And also, if you do go to this, I recommend you take a photo of this and, maybe send it, hit me up on Twitter for it, hit me up on Instagram, whatever you want to do. But I recommend if you go, you take a photo of that, because this really highlights the moment the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. As you can see, the 2002 player roster who helped win that Super Bowl, all the statues of John Gruden and all of the boys. What you're looking at right there is the coaches roster. Hey, some of those guys are actually current NFL coaches right now, head coaches even, so really cool in my opinion. That was obviously the season results. The Buccaneers finished 15-4 en route to a Super Bowl win, and there it is. I'm not sure if that's the actual Lombardi trophy or if it's a replica. I have no idea. You would imagine the real Lombardi might be locked up in a vault somewhere, but again, if you have to get a photo, I highly recommend you get a photo of this. It's obviously what I used as my preview photo. I might even use that photo in the thumbnail. We'll just have to wait and see, but that is photo worthy right there. Very, very, very cool. This section you're looking at is a kind of a display of showing the history of the head coaches. Obviously, the first coach, John McKay, who I have a ton of respect for. I think that he was a very lighthearted, very fun coach. And then the Buccaneers' current head coach, Bruce Arians, very cool. You then have some of a history of the Buccaneers head coaches: Lehman Bennett, Ray Perkins, Sam Weiss. You also have Tony Dungy there, John Gruden, Dirk Cutter, Lovie Smith, Greg Schiano, Raheem Morris. All the coaches. All the coaches are there highlighted, but obviously the most attention is to the first Buccaneers coach in franchise history, being John McKay, and the most current head coach being Bruce Arians. So a very cool display. I highly recommend you read all of the little cards that have all the information about this. I can't give all the information here because we would literally be here for hours, but it's still very cool nonetheless. This whole section is dedicated to the Buccaneers Super Bowl winning years, kind of merchandise they were selling, Wheatie boxes, t-shirts, hats, flags and whatnot. They deserve to have all that kind of merchandise because they did win the Super Bowl, and just kind of goes a little bit more in depth about what that year was and the journey that the Buccaneers took to win that Super Bowl, and some of the classic moments that the Buccaneers had en route to their Super Bowl win versus the Oakland Raiders. And again, really, really cool. As you guys can see in that headline, worst to first, I don't know if a lot of people thought the Buccaneers would ever win the Super Bowl, considering that start that they had back in 76 when they did not win a game for, I believe it was either 2 years or almost 2 years. Not a lot of people thought they could probably ever win a Super Bowl. So this was honestly a Cinderella story, and it really put the Buccaneers on the national map of, hey, this is, we're here and we're Super Bowl champions. It was just poetry because Tony Dungy built up the team. John Gruden came in, put in the finishing touches, and it was just a Cinderella story if I've ever seen one. Not to sound corny or whatnot, but that's just what it was. Here's something else that I thought was really interesting. This was some Super Bowl ring prototypical designs, much like the prototypical logo designs and the uniform designs and helmet designs. One thing that I thought was cool, you guys might have seen it in the beginning of this clip, was one of the ring designs that was being considered was just having the Buccaneers logo right on the front. I wish that they would have went with that logo or that ring design. That would have been amazing. If you guys want to pause and read that little snippet, you can. But again, I would have thought that having the big flag on the front would have looked amazing. Again, obviously, they have to do what pretty much every other team does in the league and kind of just put the one Lombardi right there. But again, would have been really cool to see that big Bucs flag on a Super Bowl ring. But, it is what it is. This section right here kind of goes a little bit more more in depth into the history of Raymond James Stadium, the history of you know, the Buccaneers headquarters, blueprints for designing the stadium, and basically everything else in between. As you can see right there, there's actually some blueprints for the Buccaneers pirate ship, which has honestly made Raymond James Stadiums one of the more famous stadiums in the nation, in the National Football League. A lot of people I've talked to have said that Raymond James Stadium is their favorite stadium because of that pirate ship. So it's really cool to see some conceptual designs for that pirate ship and just Raymond James Stadium in general, because it's, yeah, obviously where the Bucs play. It's a big deal, and it's really, really unique and interesting to see the history of that stadium and that pirate ship. But guys, again, I cannot recommend enough how much you guys should check out this lobby. Again, free to the public. You can stay pretty much as long as you want. Obviously, they do have a closing time, but they're not going to kick you out, I believe, or anything, unless, like, you know, something really big happens where it's not access to the public. But again, you can pretty much come in at any time, look around at all the displays. You can actually buy Buccaneers game tickets there as well, which I think is really cool. And it's just a phenomenal time, you know, taking a look at the big general picture of all the displays right there. Again, it's just phenomenal, phenomenal experience. If you have never been, you have to go. You have to go, because it is just so unique, so fun, and just so enjoyable, honestly. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had one heck of a time editing this. This was really stressful to edit, but I do guys hope you all enjoyed. But until next time, and as always, I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.